and welcome back to another video. Today going to be going through another Gran Turismo 7 wishlist, this time focusing on events that I'd like to see return. So I've recently done a video on tracks I'd like to see return, and also a video on premium cars that I'd like to see brought forwards to Gran Turismo 7. Those are excluding things in sport, because we've already kind of had those confirmed as being, well, everything from that game coming forward. So it'll be the same for this, but if you haven't already seen those two videos, do go and check them out. A lot of you guys did seem to enjoy them. They seem to go down pretty well. So yeah, let's get going with some Gran Turismo 7 events. So I should just say before we start this is my personal wish list. These are things that I've particularly enjoyed in previous Gran Turismo games, and although I have played at least some of all main Gran Turismo titles, so Gran Turismo 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I have spent the most time on 4, 5 and 6 when I was younger. Those were the ones that were coming out when I was playing games. Obviously, I've played all the other ones, but yeah, they're slightly older. So this wish list is going to be mostly, well, entirely in fact, from Gran Turismo 4, 5 and 6, because those are the ones I've played. But as with the other ones, you guys commented the suggestions of things you would like to see return, so with this one, do feel free to let me know which events you enjoyed in previous Gran Turismo games that you'd like to see return to 7. But anyway, that's enough rambling on about that. So let's start with the first event I would like to see return, the Goodwood Hill Climb. Obviously, an event from Gran Turismo 6, needs no introduction. It's probably the most famous driveway in the UK, if not in the world. And yeah, I loved how the game set it up, how you got the little letter that came up on screen as an invitation from Lord March to compete in the event. And this was also a track on my track wish list, which is going to be a bit of a theme here. It kind of crosses over quite a lot. So if that came back as a track, I'd also love to see it as a Goodwood Hill Climb event, where you're given various cars and a bronze, silver and gold time to achieve going up the hill. So that would be really cool to see that return. Second on the list is the Sierra Rally, also from Gran Turismo 6, and also in my track wish list, which again, if you haven't seen that, that would have been uploaded about 2 weeks ago today, if you do want to go and check that one out. But it's the longest track, I think, in a Gran Turismo game. It's almost a free roam style thing. I know it's not free roam, but it's the closest it's come to Gran Turismo has come to having a free roam, and it kind of feels open, long road course, kind of feels a bit like that. But yeah, the event itself sees you try to overtake as many slower cars as possible to increase the countdown timer. I think it gives you more time added on, and then you get a score at the end. I can remember spending many hours doing that, because it's quite a long course, and if you run into trouble further along, it's quite a long way to restart from, if you like. But yeah, the problem with that was that the AI would kind of get in the way and would be slightly unpredictable. You'd kind of learn what they would do, but if you bumped into them, it was game over, I think. So yeah, many hours spent doing that, and it was quite infuriating when it went wrong. But yeah, a lot of fun, and I loved the track in particular. Like I keep saying, it was on my track list as well. But yeah, that event I think was really cool. Third on the list is the Lunar Exploration, again from Gran Turismo 6. Yes, I know. But yeah, like I say, that's the most recent one, so that's the one I kind of remember most. But yeah, played a lot of 4, 5 and 6. But yeah, completely different to any other kind of event on the list, and, well, any other event in Gran Turismo history, really. Quite a random addition, but very interesting to attempt. And I'd love to see, even if not that kind of style of something completely crazy, completely different, completely out there, challenges and events, which is what we love about Gran Turismo. Some of these slightly odd, slightly strange things are sometimes the most fun, so I'd love to see something like that return for Gran Turismo 7. Fourth on the list is the Top Gear track challenges from Gran Turismo 5, so going back to a game previous to all the other ones we've mentioned. And again, Top Gear was featured in my track list, so like I say, this is quite a lot of crossover, but you can see what I really enjoyed in the previous games. So yeah, these events were great fun, racing a whole field of the same vehicle around the circuit, attempting to get to the front in however many laps it was, and being a figure of 8, it was always quite interesting trying to dodge cars at the crossover, which was brilliant on that track if you raced it outside of the event as well. But yeah, that was a fun one, and there were several different events in different vehicles. I particularly loved the VW camper van, the Samba bus event around there. That was particularly fun. There's something about racing incredibly slow, massive, well, fairly big vehicles around a track that's a figure of 8 that is just, you can imagine the kind of chaos that could happen around there. So that was always great fun. And next up on the list, well, last but not least, number 5 is a series of events, the special condition events from Gran Turismo 4. So yeah, I've played a lot of these in recent streams. They're quite difficult and sometimes very irritating, but a lot of fun and a huge sense of achievement for completing them. And a lot of different surfaces in there, a lot of dirt and snow challenges, as well as some of the tarmac ones. The tight city one that I always forget the name of is the one I particularly remember spending many hours on back when I played this before. But yeah, in more recent streams I've played through, well, all of the easy and normal difficulty ones, maybe avoiding the hard ones because they're a little bit too difficult, although I would like, this goes for all challenges and events, to be slightly tougher than they were, for example, in sport, because they've got easier, which is a bit of a theme with modern games. Some of these really challenging missions and events and things have got a bit too easy. So that's a kind of general thought to finish off with. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, I'm not including any events that are in sport because we're assuming they're coming forward. Kazunori's said we're not going to lose any content from sport effectively. Same for the tracks and cars, so I think we're pretty much getting supposedly everything from that game coming forward, which is why I've left out things like the driving missions, for example, which I've also loved in Gran Turismo 4, because they have come forward in one form or another to Gran Turismo Sport. We do have driving missions, although again with those I would like to see them slightly tougher and slightly more in the style of Gran Turismo 4. But as they've shown with the menus and all the sort of just generally some of the classic tracks coming back, they are trying to go back to the old style games like 4, which is a lot of people's favourites, I know. But there we go, that is my wish list for events I would like to see return for Gran Turismo 7. Yes, most of them are from Gran Turismo 6, with one from 5 and one from 4, but as I said, although I've played all the games, 4, 5 and 6 are the ones I remember playing when I was younger, and the others I've kind of played a lot less of, so I have less memories of playing through some of the events and challenges in those. But that is going to do it for today's video. As always, let me know, as you did with the other cars and tracks videos, which events and missions and things you would like to see return for Gran Turismo 7. I'm sure there's some from older games that I've not, well, completely missed out, because I've never really played them as much. But anyway, that is going to be all for today's video, like I said, so if you did enjoy it and you aren't already, please consider subscribing. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.